Many people have innate abilities that they were born with, such as the ability to have out-of-body experiences and psychic abilities. In this video, we'll discuss ways to develop these abilities in which you should start seeing immediate results within your first week. An aura is an
immediate results in your first week. No. What you can do is you can start to learn your meditation. You can explore how your body reacts to things like meditation, and you can practice and you can have some fun with it, and you can read a bit more and expand your interest in the ideas. You can't just say you're gonna have results in the first week. It's just stupid, basically.
energy field that surrounds all living and non-living things.
Well, that's a hypothetical idea. Yeah, there are people who've had experiences of it. I've had, aura experiences myself, but on the other hand, I've got enough of intelligence to be able to say that this is a hypothetical. It is not concrete. Sure, it's based upon experience, but experience can only prove to you that you can have an experience. It may be common amongst lots of other people, but we have to stop there with our analysis, because otherwise we end up going slightly la-la.
Everything is interconnected in our solar system.
Right, that has to be regarded as a belief-based point of view. I may have very similar belief-based points of view, but I'm intelligent enough to be able to distinguish between a belief and a fact. Now, you're saying this as if it was a statement of fact. That I disagree with.
Each one of the cells in our bodies generates electricity. As we've seen with lightning, electricity connects with other bolts of lightning to create chain lightning, as like attracts like. Your aura is...
No, I don't think you can then add the phrase like attracts like onto that, okay? There's positive and negative ions, and there will be an attraction between the two, because they will try and neutralize each other out. Because if you have a particle which needs another electron and it's lacking it, it will try and scavenge it, just like a free radical does. It's not a question of like attracts like. You're getting your science wrong.
An electromagnetic field that surrounds your body. Look into a mirror and gaze at a spot a few inches away from your ear or the top of your head. At first, you might see a nearly invisible field of energy, about 1
I will see a nearly invisible field of energy. Well, no, if something like that happens, you've got to ask yourself whether that's an optical illusion, whether that's a persistence of vision issue to do with light on your retina, and other things. There's more questions to be asked. Yeah, it seems like these aura experiences happen more when you're in a state of fever, or you're not very well, or you're in a meditation. Yes, but there's still questions to be asked, not hard and fast answers.
Inch from your head. As you continue to focus on this area, a color will begin to show. This is the color of the...
Not necessarily, okay? It's not, you carry on looking at this, then a color will begin to show. Not necessarily, and essentially under what conditions. Right, now, it's not that simple. Okay? It's not that simple.
Energy your body is emitting. It's like a lie detector. You can tell if people are living in negativity or fear by the color of their auras, which will have...
You can also tell by looking at their facial expressions and connecting the ideas, or based upon what they say, their actual words and their ideas.
Have red or black in them. You can also see auras in other objects, such as a tree or a seashell. With practice, this ability will become easier and easier to do.
Yeah, but you haven't actually said all that much about this. You just said with practice it'll become easier and easier to do, and you've had some soft, fluffy new age music in the background. What you haven't done is actually try to analyze the experience or the ideas in any real depth.
Greg Braden mentioned a study in which mass meditation was used to measure global effects on behavior and proving how everything is connected. The result...
The word proof is inappropriate here. And also, even if it was proof, the word proof only refers to a stage of an academic debate and is not necessarily conclusive. The way you're presenting it makes it seem as if it was conclusive. That's bad.
Of this test showed that the
Sorry, I'll just quickly interject here. You're making us all appear like a bunch of lunatics. Please stop.
act of consciousness affected behavior. Crystals can be seen as plasmatocytes in a blood analysis. Fiber optics work on a thin crystal fiber technology that transmits information over thin lines of this material.
Yeah, that's called total internal reflection, and is not to do with like crystal matrices or spirit energy or something like that. It's a physical optical phenomena. Okay? So why are you even mentioning fiber optic cables in a talk about telepathy and that kind of stuff is actually beyond me.
ESP can be developed in a similar way by creating visual waves of energy and transmitting these waves to another person through thought, concentration, and visualization.
Yeah, I've had telepathic type experiences too. They seem to occur in some forms of meditation, therefore make more kind of sense from a hypothetical point of view, not necessarily a scientific one. When you think about like the brain waves and combination of brainwave activities being able to be transmitted to someone at a particular time when they are more receptive because they are either less physically well, or they're asleep, or they're in a trance, or they're in meditation. That would be a better hypothesis. But again, you're presenting this as if it was hard and fast facts and you know all the facts, and it's not really all that good.
In theory, our thoughts create the holograms for the images which are sent from one person to another. Here's how to...
Yes, I can understand what you're saying. And you use the word in theory, which is good. And this is 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the video, and that's the first time you've used the word in theory. But you haven't really said or suggested like whether you mean that in a colloquial sense, in which case that will be an okay use of language, or whether you mean that in a quasi-scientific sense, in which case it would not be.
People can work on telepathy. Find 5 pairs of small household items. Each person will sit back to back with one set of these items in front of them. One person will pick up an item and try to send a telepathic message to the other, while the other tries to guess what that item is. The person sending the telepathic message can experiment in different ways on telepathically sending the object, such as envisioning many of the same objects in a group, or associating the object with your other senses.
Yeah, that's all very interesting, but if there was any like science that could be applied to this, it would make a lot more sense that it was broken down into meditation and brainwave activity, which you haven't done. Okay, yes, some of the ideas behind the exercises that you're talking about are in fact very cliche, and most of us who've been into all this stuff for a while pretty much know about them, but you're not really putting any real flesh on the bones of the actual subject, and that's what's causing me a bit of concern. And again, you're making it seem a bit too easy and a bit too fun, and so it's the kind of thing that some varieties of social retard might do on a Tuesday afternoon if it's raining, when they've got nothing better to do.
The person has guessed which item was sent telepathically. Both participants will hold the item out to their side to compare their results. If you're using 5 items, you have a 1 in 5 chance in guessing correctly. If your result...
Yeah, but you need to have more conditions in your particular test to make sure you're getting real statistical significance, okay? So you may need to have like 100 tests, and you may need to make it blind or double blind somehow, so that you've got a in condition and a no experimental condition, and then you'll need someone who's got some understanding of statistical analysis to crunch the numbers to make sure that we're actually moving on to statistical significance. Okay, once you're there, then essentially you'll have a much better feeling as to whether you're actually being accurate. But if you're just basing this upon a 1 in 5, then your science is bad, and any beliefs you develop as a result of any apparent success will be false.
results are over 20% correct, then you're beating the probability of chance.
Only if the sample size is big enough.
If your results are over 50%, then you're developing this ability quite well.
No, if your results are over 50%, that means your results are over 50%. You can't necessarily say that it is due to your particular hypothetical understanding of the phenomena in question, because it might not be. It could be to do with anything else. Psychological cues, whatever. It's not a question of you are developing. Yes, you are doing it. No, we got questions here. We haven't got answers, because in something quite so weird, we haven't got answers.
Each of us has a projective and receptive hand. Our receptive hand is...
No, each of us have two hands, apart from those who happen to have just one, or someone who happen to have none, either by accident of birth or because of some kind of unpleasant accident.
The opposite of the hand that we use the most. In other words, if you're right-handed, your receptive hand is your left hand. Every color has...
Hypotheticals. At best. A religious argument, at best. A dogma, at best. A fact? No.
...a vibration. Red vibrates higher than black, so in this experiment, we'll be using playing cards. Try to find a blue deck of cards, because a red deck might throw you off.
Yes. You don't want to be thrown off by the color of the card, do you?
As I mentioned, the color red vibrates at a higher frequency than black, so with your receptive hand...
No, the color black doesn't actually vibrate, it absorbs color. It absorbs light, okay? White reflects back to you, to your eyes, to your retina, all the colors of the rainbow, and therefore it appears white. Black absorbs, doesn't vibrate. Black vibrates. No, it doesn't.
And you'll be able to feel the color of the suit and how many there are of that particular suit. With practice, you'll eventually be able to guess the correct color and the number of hearts, clubs, spades, or diamonds.
How much practice? How many days, weeks, months, or years, or decades? And would you rather actually be going to work to earn money, right, as opposed to running your hands over playing cards each and every single day and getting frustrated because some YouTube video told you to do that, and then hey presto, oh my word, it's not quite happening the way in which they said it would. Just saying.
With a much higher success rate versus chance. Here's what you do.
Yeah, but you can only tell if it's a higher success rate over chance if your sample size is big enough, if your experiment is big enough, if your experimental design is correct, and if you fulfilled all of the requirements of proper social and psychological scientific research, and you have applied the appropriate parametric and non-parametric statistical analysis to the variety of results. You have collected the data in the right way, and you're actually breaking down like all the various stages of your experiment properly. Only then do you know it'll be statistically above chance. If you don't do any of that stuff, you're just wanking around with ideas. You're not getting anywhere. This makes me feel good. I believe I'm a great and powerful magician. And there's so many people who end up on that weird fucking brainwave thinking, oh, I'm amazing, because I could guess the difference between red and black. People are actually out there ending up in that headfuck, okay? They're actually there in that state of mind because they're taking on board what you're saying. They're absorbing it. They're thinking, oh, yes, oh, I'm so powerful. I've seen people go insane because of that crap. I've actually seen it.
Remove all of the face cards in a deck of playing cards, then shuffle the non-face cards. Lay one card face down. Place your receptive hand over the card and move it.
Only the receptive hand can do it. Yes.
Side to side and back and forth, trying to feel the presence of the heat in that hand. For example, a 10 of hearts will feel warmer than a 3 of hearts.
Oh, crikey, give me strength.
because there are more red hearts and more color vibration.
I'm going to stop watching this now before I make myself ill. I will link it below. You can watch it too. If you don't mind busting a blood vessel, it could be quite entertaining. I mean, in reality, this video is a great piece of entertainment. Okay, it's a great entertainment piece. But with the criticism I've given of it, you should see full well that, like, it's not really all that much else. And that's unpleasant, really, because all that kind of stuff, like, gives people hope and all the rest of it. But, you know, it can fuck with you. It can fuck with you. It's not good. It's not good. You know, questions have to be asked, okay? I've had these weird experiences myself, but it doesn't mean to say that I can talk as much bullshit as you. Oh, God. Drink your tea. Relax. Chill out. Everything is gorgeous. Everything is fine when you have tea and you have nicotine.